Okay. Working a euro trade basis, the June contract this morning. Long at 29, 1 and 31.29. We're showing support at 1 and 31.13, 12 in this area. Our stop is underneath that area of support. Our target in first resistance is at 1 and 31.75. We'll see what the chart looks like if we can get up and reach into those levels. For the trade using the longer term time frame chart, resistance is at 1 and 32.50 to 1 and 32.60 up in that area. But we had the first contract off, selling it at 1 and 37. I'm sorry, 1 and 31.37. Putting a few ticks into the bank to finance the trade. And we'll continue working this until we get an exit strategy. Okay, trade's continuing to work in our favor. So at this point, I can move the stop up to just under break even. Take much of the risk out of participating here. Again, looking for resistance at 1 and 31.75 in and around that area. Let's see, a little bit of resistance in here, revisiting the highs for the session. Momentum is building here a little bit to the upside. Let's see if we can punch through this area, and if we do, then I'll be looking for this 31.75 area. Okay, having a little trouble here around 58 and 60. Have this long tail here on the shorter time frame chart. Over the long-term time frame chart, we've got higher highs and higher lows, progressively moving to the upside. However, momentum is not in favor of that upside. It's not consistent. So we have sort of an argument going on here, which means that there might be just a little bit of a topping out pressure right around in here at 58 and 60. So if we can get back up and in here, we'll see how the market action looks at that point and see if we can push higher. But so far, there is a reason for this advance in here. And we are long in here, and we are financed by the market. So let's see if we can gather up a little bit of steam in here and progress through this area, and then again look for 75 for the trade. And if we just measure from the beginning of this short advance here, from 17 up to 60, and measure a 50 to 61.8% retracement, we could see this market retrace down into this area and then progress from there. And that would have a perfectly natural look to it. What we've seen in the market, these markets just do not go in one direction or another without some type of a wave pattern here. So this is something that we could see in here. Again, our entry is underneath this area, so that we could have a very small risk in here, such that if this market obeys this pattern, comes down in here, gathers up steam, and then goes up from there, we'll be well served. So we'll continue watching in here to see if this advances up to this objective. But the important thing about this trade, and the reason I wanted to record this and share it, is because we're basing this trade on the longer time frame chart. So we're participating in the major pivot moves, which limits the number of times that we enter. But when we do enter, we can get a little bit of profit underneath of our belt, close that trade out, such as like what we did here, and then finance our participation. in these larger pivot moves, and that's where I think the real bread and butter of what this market can deliver for us is. So we just have to be a little patient in here and see if this can manifest itself so that we can participate in this larger pivot move. Okay, we are continuing to work our way upward here. Like I say, we could, come back into this below 40 area, and I think what I would like to do here is as long as we progress, that's fine. But if we start to take out underneath this 45, I would exit the trade and look for a re-entry back down here around 35. So at this point, while I have my stop, anything that would take out the low of these bars, I would probably want to get out. Still looking for this 75 area, but really need to take out this previous high. Got a little bit more momentum here, so this is a pretty good push. And like I said, there is a reason for this, and I'd like to participate with that reason. Our risk is only a few ticks from where we entered. Really don't want to give back all of this. Like I said, if it takes out these lows, probably want to exit and look for a re-entry down in here. But one thing is for sure, we can capture a profit. Okay, I'm going to continue holding on here. See support here really at this 38 area. So I want to continue to work this trade to the upside here, with 38 being a reasonable support. And since it's not too far away from where we are, I want to keep working this trade to the long side. Okay, following at about what we had thought about, coming back down into the support area, perfectly reasonable. Now what we're looking for here is a reversal pattern in here to go upward. Okay, so we reached the point where we've gotten down into where the support area is, where I would expect. And I added another contract here. So got long 2 contracts initially, took profits on the first one. Prices retraced back down to about the area that we would expect. Put a second contract on here. And now my plan is to take that second contract off if we are to reach resistance up here at around 75. And then be in a position where we can answer whether or not the market is going to stop here or move up to this 3260 area. So really in a good position here, moving with the trend at support and at shorter time frame support in here as well. So at each pivot point low, I've established a position for myself. Let's continue to watch and see if this extends up here. We'll take this first contract set off at around the 75 area and then see if we can extend from there. Okay, so we got a nice bounce, a nice reaction off of the support, so it's following in just in the same way that we discussed. If we can take out this previous pivot high at 60, then I'd be looking at 75 to go ahead and execute that first contract, exit that first one off, and then look to see if we're going to take out this area. But if we can just take out this high, then I'd be looking for 75, 31.75 for the next stop. Okay, excellent. Got a nice push up here. Had some buy stops here. Didn't quite get up to our exit here at 73, but I'm going to continue to work it in here. Nice thing is at this point we've had a couple of trades that have gone well. We can bring both stops up to break even. So one thing is for certain, this is going to be a profitable trade. So we'll continue to work it from here, and it gives us, really a lot of leverage here in terms of psychological value, that we've established ourselves into the market. We're financed by the market, and so we can patiently wait and see if this unfolds in what we've been talking about so far. Okay, so just got filled on the objective up here at in the 73, 75 area. Um, and so now at this point I kind of shift gears here a little bit and see if there's enough momentum behind this trade to take us through this intermediate level of resistance here at 75, 73, 75 area, and see if we can push through up into the next resistance area. Okay, so let's have a look here, a little closer inspection. I had this resistance. I just closed the trade out. A couple of things working here. We have this resistance here at 75, which we we bounced off a support here, made it up to resistance, and the momentum is not consistent with these moves to the upside. So we could look for a bounce off of this area. But the main thing is that, if I add up, and it really comes down to what your objective is for the trades. And that is, if I add these up, I've got about 100 points made. I can stop here for the day and be happy. And so I went ahead and exited the trade. Okay, so we're starting to see a little bit more about what I was just talking about, long tail up here at resistance. Without the momentum in place here that would be consistent with pushing through this area. The trend is definitely to the upside. We just add a ceiling here. So with 40 points basically made on a few contracts here this morning. Nice, beautiful profit here. Very low risk. We can end it, put the money in the bank, and look for the next one.